Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a few tips and tricks on how to wear a glowy foundation if you have oily skin. If you didn't watch my review over the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation, make sure you go watch that so you kind of have like a background story. I will link it below. But the whole reason that this video is even a thing is because I've been really trying to find a way to make this foundation work for me. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, in case you didn't get that by now. If you're like me and you love glowy foundations but your skin doesn't love them and they just don't love you, then this video is for you. So just kind of play around with these tips and figure out what works best for you. Try one method, and if that doesn't work, try a different one, and if those don't work, try two. So without further ado, if you guys want to see how to pull off a glowy foundation when you already got that natural glow, then please keep watching. So tip number one, and the first place I would start if I were you guys, would be to start out with a mattifying moisturizer. But this is the Formula 10.0.6 Seriously Shine Free Mattifying Oil-Free Moisturizer. I got this at Ulta. This is a very deeply hidden gem in the drugstore, but this stuff is absolutely amazing. I'm not sponsored or paid or anything, but I did discover this on my own, and using this type of product alone makes me able to wear a glowy foundation like this one. A lot of mattifying products are kind of tricky because most of them are going to make your skin feel pretty dry, or they're going to make your makeup look cakey or thick looking or heavy. But when you're using a mattifying moisturizer, it's going to hydrate your skin, but it's also going to absorb the oil in it. So I find that with this, it keeps me shine free all day long, and it does combat a bit of the glowiness in foundations like this one. This is the first place I would start if I'm trying to make a glowy foundation work for me. So tip number two is to use a mattifying primer. So if you use a mattifying moisturizer, you may not have to do this step. You may do both. Just like I said, play around with it. But I'm not a big fan of mattifying primers just because a lot of them will emphasize your pores a little bit. Some of them will fill them in. It just kind of depends on what you use. A mattifying primer is also going to absorb the oil in your skin, and it is going to kind of counteract a little bit of the glowiness, but it'll kind of balance things out to where you're not looking oily and shiny throughout the day, but you still got a little bit of glow. Tip number three is to mix your glowy foundation with another foundation that you like. So it could be a matte finish, it could be a demi-matte finish, a satin finish, something that's going to be a little bit different than the glowiness, so that once again it kind of counteracts it and balances it out a little bit. You're not going to be as glowy as, you know, just using that one glowy foundation, but it will still give you a little bit of a glow, and it'll make it a little bit more wearable for you. Tip number four is to bake your foundation. So this is my second favorite method because when I was trying to figure out how to make this glowy foundation work for me, I tried this and it completely fixed all my problems. So I had a lot of fading with this foundation, particularly like under my cheekbone area, like right here around my jawline, in my T-zone, in my under eye area. When I baked my face, it completely took away all the problems I had. It took away the fading problems, the oily problems, and it did kind of counteract some of that glowiness still, but it also absorbed the oil in my skin, and I still had those certain glowy spots on my face. Highly recommend baking. If you guys want to see a tutorial, I did do one a while back. I'll link it below if I can remember, because I can never remember to put things I say I'm going to put in the description box. So yeah, baking is going to be your best friend. So tip number five is to use a setting spray, and not just in the morning after you first apply your makeup, but just a little bit more throughout the day. So say you put your makeup on at 8 o'clock in the morning, you could set your face again at like 12 or 1, and if you still see problems, you can set it, you know, a little bit later in the day, just depending on how long your day is going to be. But make sure if you do this, you set your face when your makeup is looking good, because if you start setting it when it's already like fading and you see like some shine and all that stuff, it's not gonna really solve your problems. So I'm gonna throw in another tip just because I just now thought of it. Tip number six is to mix a liquid illuminator with a foundation that you like already. So it doesn't even have to be a glowy foundation. It could be a satiny finish or a natural finish, whatever the case may be. Mix it with a liquid illuminator, and it's gonna give you more of a glow, a little bit more of a sheen. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you try any of these tips, make sure you let me know in the comments below. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, follow me on all my social media. All the links are below, and I hope you guys have a beautiful, shine-free day. Mwah.